From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Morreale and Hitch.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Morreale and Hitch podcast. I'm Mike Morreale. That's Rob Hitchcock. Hitchcock.
You're laughing.
Good, but I got to fake it. I get the migraine. I get these migraines. I'm fighting through it because for our fans, for all our fans. Well, and I'm in beautiful Edmonton. Look at these drapes. Aren't they gorgeous in the hotel room I'm sitting? They're beautiful, off-white. I think it's smoke-colored.
Yeah, they must be. It's like Butko's room. You missed his, whoever can't see this, he's got a pumpkin still, like 12 days ago. 12 days ago Halloween was, and he's still got a pumpkin, and they're not even carved. Look at that thing in the background. Lampshades the same color.
Oh, my God. What a disaster. Where's Butko? I gotta get my three screens up here. So today is like part 2 of our Osbaldiston podcast journey, no?
Yeah, part 2. I guess we didn't finish with him. We have so much to talk about. So we actually know who the guest is today. I'm wondering who he's going to have on today. But before he comes on, because he could come on any second, we do got to get him on quick because you don't want to be taking too much time out of your day. You got the head. He got the private pile haircut, full metal jacket haircut, full metal jacket.
Absolutely.
Mine too. I got my ears lowered too last week.
That's nice.
Was in Arizona for work, so weather wasn't the greatest. The first time I've ever been down there, where the last day was like 16 degrees and it was cold and raining and not what you see in Arizona.
You want to know what it's here? Minus 26.
No,
Celsius.
You look cold actually.
I hate it. I hate every second. I do not like the cold, buddy. And it just like gets in your bones here. Oof.
It's snowing too, because Calgary, I know there's snow.
Yeah, snow. Yeah. Lots of snow.
That's not good.
Snow. But I'm here before we get into the Ticats, which we have to discuss. Sadly, that what happened last week. But I'm here because Team Canada, senior men's national team, the basketball team, last night qualified for the World Cup for the Philippines. They beat Venezuela.
They beat
Venezuela. They went at 9-0. They're tops in the division. They have like a plus 300 point differential. So everything looks good.
And there's 2 guys from your league that are playing in that, correct?
13.
13.
15 guys that played yesterday. There was 13 on the court. They have a couple. It's almost like 2 different teams because they've got the winter team when the NBA's on. Yeah. And then during the off season, the NBA.
Maybe that's what it was. And I heard on TSN like there's 2 guys from the CBL that would be playing with those other guys in
the big team.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So anyways, they won. So we got soccer going to the World Cup this year soon, a couple weeks, or maybe a week and a bit. And then we got and we got Canada basketball going next year. Anyways, that's why we're here. Let's talk about the Cats.
Yeah, I didn't watch the first half, and then of course I was on my way to the airport, so I was listening to it on Ticats Network, and it was tough to watch the first bit, and then it was tough listening to. It just you felt for them, like they had a chance and then just gone. Like there's just didn't find a way to, like we said all year long, they're finding the ways to lose the game. They're not finding a way to win. We did that one year. I think it was 96. I think it was, or whatever. We were 97. We were like 2-16 or whatever. We found ways to lose, winning games. But they just can't score in the fourth quarter. That's what it was. Like they gave up so many points in the fourth quarter this year and couldn't score. So
and they had a good run though, right? They did 5 in a row. I thought that was gonna. I really believed that they were gonna pull one out and then go to Toronto. I thought they'd be in the Grey Cup again. I didn't think they were gonna win it. To be completely honest.
Yeah.
Because I just think Winnipeg's too good. I don't think anyone's gonna be Winnipeg, truthfully. But I thought they had a legit chance. But man, how about, I don't want to break this down to one singular play, but how about that play by Beverett at the end of the game to knock the ball? Oh, you didn't see it?
Didn't see it.
Oh,
dude, I heard they had a roll.
Untouched on Schultz, knocked the ball out. That was the end of the game because Cats had the ball with whatever, a minute or so left to do something. And broken coverage, like broken protection. Oof. That was big.
That can't happen in the playoffs, right? It's a mental mistake, and you don't blame anybody, but it's just one of those things. There is some talk too, because the guys at work were, there are some Canadian guys that talked about it, and they said, so what's your take on the quarterback situation? I said, what do you mean? And they said, well, you guys got two kind of, you got to go with one. You can't go with the tandem quarterback. Got to pick one. And then I got a Calgary guy, and he's like, how about Bo Levi Mitchell? And I thought, if he's
his name's
available,
definitely out there. Well, he'll be a free agent.
That's what I'm saying. You pick a guy up, even if you pick him up for 1 year, and
you got to make the playoff run, right? You got to make the Grey Cup.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a great. They're back in Hamilton for the Grey Cup. So if you think you can go with Evans and Schultz, I think you can. But and they're great guys and they're great quarterbacks. But you got to give one or the other. I know there's been injuries back and forth all year long, and you can't. It's easy for us to say this, but if you get a guy like Bo Levi Mitchell, who's chomping at the bit, who lost his job, the highest paid player in the league, I think he's making a lot of money. You bring him in for a year and say, you know what, we got a playoff run, a Grey Cup run. It's at home, and sign him for a year and an option.
Why not? What do you got to lose?
I know
it's just like no different. Remember when Toronto brought in Ricky Ray? Everybody thought Ricky was done out west. All of a sudden, he lands in Toronto. He's ripping off going to Grey Cups.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that's what they should do, but I'm sure it's on their minds. They're thinking about something because, I love Evans. I think they're both great guys and great quarterbacks, but you gotta. It's tough. I see good things in both of those guys too. Like they can win, they can play, but it's the guys that are around them too. Are they playing? For them, right?
They had some. There were some guys that were playing. That Tim White's a heck of a football player.
Oh boy!
And there's guys, and then they were missing guys. They're missing Simone most of the year. They're missing Van Zyl most of the year. Those are big. Pardon me, big pieces to the.
Mike's got a headache.
Those are big pieces.
Big pieces. But I'm sad for him. But you know what? Like people said on the radio, they really shouldn't even have been in the playoffs. They made a great run at the end. And hand it to them. They stuck together. They're great core of guys, and they made it through. In Montreal's they didn't even have a packed house over there. What a waste! It wasn't even jammed in there. Come on, 20,000 people. You can't even put into a playoff game. Like that makes me. And then I don't know, but you heard yesterday. It was on CH News. They're asking for Hamilton fans to come and support Toronto because they can't. They did, and Bubs was talking about it on the news. Sports. They threw it out to Hamilton if we could get fans down there, and they're like, "Okay, maybe get fans to go down there to cheer for Montreal, not for you." But they're asking for Hamilton fans because they can't sell the place out. They asked us to come down, Hamilton. I couldn't believe it on the news yesterday.
God.
There's a problem when you have when you're first place, and you like last year. I went to the Eastern Semi. Or the Eastern Final in Toronto when Hamilton beat them. It was a great game, and there was 7,000-8,000 Ticat fans, maybe 10.
Oh yeah, that helped. Thank God.
Maybe 7,000 Toronto fans. It's brutal. It's embarrassing to the league, and they even opened up the one corner across from their benches because both teams are on the same bench.
Yeah.
They leave that one back corner. It's always open. They never show the punts because if it goes too high, the camera goes too high. It's empty. And you're going to show people in the States are watching this. What is a high school game? It looks embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. But my rant's done. But I hope
you're allowed to rant because you know why? Whoa! Butko just popped in. Butko and his pumpkin.
You know what? Your head's about the same size as that pumpkin. Look at it.
Turn around the back. What do you got? Let's see the back of your hair. Do you have like a little ponytail? That's like your pumpkin. Just keep your head like that. Turn around. That's your pumpkin.
You know what? This is and 3 weeks in a row, Butko. Your lampshade is still tilted to the or our left, but it's still tilted.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. Look at it.
Oh,
for our listeners who can't or not watching this part of it, Butko, our fearless leader here, has a piano to the right, to our right, and a yellow beautiful lampshade and an orange pumpkin, which is kind of the same color. Yeah.
And then where's the couch? Is that a couch or is that
It's a beautiful 80s
lazy boy
recliner.
I was
look at that. Hey, look at the colors.
Make that pattern.
No.
They don't make that pattern anymore. That's cause people to have like seizures when they looked at that thing.
Those were the patches. Those were the patches that we used to put on our pants. Remember their jeans? Yeah. That's the same color.
You know what the beauty is? You could spill anything on that, no one would even notice.
No.
Oh, you look good. Is Ozzie here?
Yes.
Oh God, let's get going. I'm dying.
Yeah, let's get him on. Oh boy.
Oh, here he comes.
Hey, problems again with the audio.
Oh geez,
Connecting to audio. He's there.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
God,
Thank
sakes.
God, for God's
Ozzie.
sakes.
I'm
I've
sorry.
got the worst migraine.
Hey, the
And I'm
Advil,
waiting for this show.
the Advil hasn't kicked in yet for me yet today.
Oh, buddy. No, I can tell.
I can tell.
Sorry, knuckleheads.
Good, buddy. We were just I die with a migraine today. We're trying to. I need Hitch to carry the show, which is not a good thing. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, Ozzie.
Yeah, no, I get them too, and I know how awful they can be. So,
but I can't miss the opportunity with the boys. You know, I can't miss this opportunity.
Let's put it this way, Mike. If you want to go lay down, I wouldn't miss you.
It's true.
I've heard that many times. Yeah. Okay, so we're back with Paul Osbaldiston. We had a great chat.
Oh boy.
There we
go. My eyes are bleeding out of my head. We had a great chat last week, and we literally just scratched the surface. So we had to have you back. And then I'm sitting here last night, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to talk to him about this. I got to talk about this. I didn't write anything down, so I forgot it all. Yeah. But as I was thinking to myself, I have to say this. There's something about you, Oz, that I really respect more than just us being teammates and all this stuff. And there's only a couple guys that I feel this way about. One is you, one's Mike O'Shea. Besides being complete morons and excellent football players, I always loved the passion you guys had for the game, right? The knowledge of the game. Like I always looked at you as an encyclopedia for what the CFL is all about. When I look at Osh, it's the same, and right? He loves passion. It. He breathes it. He's passionate about the game. Where the hell did that come from? Like, do you feel you're like that? Because you are, to me, at least.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, and I want to first of all say how honored I am to be compared to the lunacy of Mike O'Shea.
Oh my God! Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's quite an honor on my part, and you know. Maybe a little
he's not saying the same. He's not saying the same.
You know what, Mike? Like I said last time we talked, it was just a way to make a difference. You know, when I realized my role in the team as far as athlete, an athlete. You know, how much time does it make me, spend in a day compared to you guys, that type of a thing. So I always found, let's face it, I had lots of extra time, right? You can only kick so many balls, and then what do, right? You run the stairs, you lift, you BS with the guys type of thing. And I quickly found that, okay, well, wait a second, there's lots of ways to help out people. What are you laughing at, Hitch?
The lifting,
running the stairs and working out.
How did you slide that in?
Or you're talking about us, or not you? Were you doing that?
Were you lifting?
Yeah,
and running the stairs. Let's
he
be honest.
Yes, he would. Yeah, he did.
Look at his face. He's so mad right
now. How do I hit the screen off again?
Go ahead, I'm sorry, but
all right, that's okay. I did run the stairs. Once it took me 18 years. I did 2 steps a year for 18 years. I got the north stands covered that I ever went there. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I appreciate that. You know what? Like I said, it was just a way of helping guys out. Whether it was their personal situations, most of the time, you try and stay away from that as much as you can, unless it's, one of your friends and they need help. Then you do everything you can. It was just a situation of A, making myself better, B, being valuable to the team. But most of all, it was to help the guys around me be able to do their job better. And there's certain people in the league that you learn that really understand that clock management. Like Cal Murphy was one, Don Matthews was one, Ron Lancaster was one. I don't know if I said Cal Murphy, but John Gregory was outstanding at it. He really understood it because his gig up here, the first one was in Regina, and he quickly was smart enough to understand that, hey, sometimes it's better to punt on 2nd and 10 with a 80 kilometer an hour wind than it is, thinking you're going to get 10 yards and then having a punt into it. So there's lots of things, you used to watch Danny. He was brilliant. We'd be going into the quarter and we'd have 40-yard drives that lasted 7 minutes, because he'd be making sure everybody rolled off the pile slow and, front the referees and anything to milk off another 3-4 seconds every time we had the ball. And it really worked for us. It was really refreshing every time that I had a coach come in that knew what they were doing. As far as, okay, either one of two ways. Either let me handle it because eventually you got to earn trust, or they'll figure it out, or you've got to tackle it and understand it, and you handle it. And a lot of times, a lot of the coaches. And you'll know this, Mike and Rob, with your play calling, late in the fourth quarter, going into a win with a win, what plays are you calling? Are you stopping the clock if the pass doesn't get caught? Or is it in the middle of the field? Do you need it out of bounds? Are you better to, there's all kinds of things that, when you sit and listen to the stands now, people say, well, why did they do that?
There's no idea.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't say anything, but a lot of times you'll politely say, well, you know what, I know it was, third or second and 15, but they ran the ball and now it takes an extra 25 seconds off, the clock getting ready, getting going. Now the punts, snap to kick is 6 seconds, or, whatever, the hand to hang time. And it just helped everybody along, and it helped us win games. It really did. And guys were always really quick to pick up on it. One of the things I noticed about, when players come in is, you watch him, you listen to him, and is this guy, is he there or isn't he? Is he going to make it or isn't he? Does he need a little grooming, or, is this a guy we toss on the field tomorrow? And it just, that type of a thing, it just helped so much with those, with the younger guys learning the Canadian game. When I was coaching, I always spent, half an hour when we were on the road with the returners. This guy makes this type of a ball. Does anybody know this rule? No. Okay, well, let's review it. And half the time, the way things are, it shows up the next week.
Of course, you breathe it into existence.
Talking about that, that's why. And a lot of guys, like you watch Luke Tasker come up when I was coaching. He came up shortly after the season started, and made the effort to come by after meeting with Kent Austin, Tommy Condell, everybody, everything came by and said, hey, I heard about you. What can you tell me? Tell me about these rules. I heard they're really different. Okay, well, how much time do you have? Yeah, come see me tomorrow too, and probably the next 3 or 4 days, we'll get this straightened out for you. But there's a guy that picks it up, and you tell him once, right? Hey, possession is you knock it out of bounds. You can be 20 yards from the sideline, punch it out.
Yep.
And it's our ball. No questions asked.
Don't kick it out.
Don't kick it. That's their ball.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. And he was one of those type of guys that just picked up on everything real quick. And you watch him and you go, okay, there's a guy that's, worth his body weight in gold. Like this guy cares. He listens. He wants to understand. He realizes that.
Imagine if Fab Felice was worth his body weight in gold. That would be a beautiful gold sculpture. Beautiful gold sculpture.
Hey,
beautiful.
There was a time when I might have busted the bank too. So.
Hitch, what do you got for Ozzie?
Oz, for those again who are not watching this and not listening, is Paul Osbaldiston
not listening either.
They're not listening because we only have. Well, actually, we have 31, right, Oz? Because we have 32, but you're on with us.
I'm on. Again. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So thanks for that. Thanks for supporting our lovely podcast and to put you asleep at night. We really appreciate that.
No problem. Lisa started watching it too, so you're up to 33.
Oh,
nice.
She's a saint.
Yes, she is.
Saint. Oh. But so Oz, we talked briefly about before you came on. You probably didn't hear because you couldn't get your audio going, but we talked a bit about the Cats last week, and and the loss, and kind of basically said that they made a 5-game run to get into the playoffs. Probably shouldn't have even been in the playoffs with, with the season they had, but of course they made it, and it came up short. I didn't watch the last quarter. I was on my way to the airport, but just what were your thoughts on that game?
Oh, you missed the end. You were going to the airport?
Yeah, I missed
were you going somewhere warm and sunny with free drinks and umbrellas, Rob?
No, Arizona for work. So
yeah, okay. All right.
Well, nicer. I mean,
it was warm.
So
yeah, minus 26 in Edmonton. Nice.
Real nice.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on that game?
Well, yeah, this league is who's hot and healthy at the end. Let's face it. Most of the time that's the team that was hot during the season, or good team. But how many times have we seen teams go on a 2, 3, 4 game tear at the end, end up with 6, 7 wins, and make it to the Grey Cup because they're hot. Their starting quarterback's not the Western champions or Eastern champions quarterback is hurt. So it has a lot to do with who's hot and healthy at the end. But we know the organization from the top to bottom, the three of us. Right away, it was very apparent and very transparent that the man that bought the organization was going to do the right things, in the community, on the field, for the players, for the coaches, for the fans, everything. He was going to do it right. And I never got to play for him. I played the one exhibition game. That's it. And I really, really am pulling hard and regret that he hasn't won the big one yet. He's done everything he possibly can. Now they've got the right person in place. Like the three of us, I mean, we'll take that, we'll fight
with Steiny, absolutely.
Yeah.
Steiner,
yeah. So we'll fight that to the grave. Right. And it's just been like this year was a situation of there were some people I think that accelerated their expectations, like we did in '99. Okay, this training camp is BS. The season is BS. Why don't we play the Grey Cup now? We'll win it and go home. And I think they got maybe a little bit ahead of themselves that way, in the fact that to me on the field they tried too hard at times. They tried to force things, right? Yeah. And they don't have a large group of veteran or decent sized
the ones they had were hurt
players to say, hey, you know what? It's okay. Hey, this is a Canadian Football League. You punt. It's okay to punt. Yeah. It's not okay to scramble for your life and fall down and drop the ball, or try and force an issue up the field and hold the ball up. And you know what I mean? Like they were just trying too hard. It's not like, I think they were as frustrated as we are watching them, in the fact that, okay, geez, what next? What next? Yeah. And when you get in that situation, it's hard to get out of. And when you do, like they did it in the season, so then all of a sudden you start appreciating that, holy cow, this winning is way more fun than losing, and we can make the playoffs. And from there, I'm sure O was telling them, hey, geez, there was this guy named J.C. Watts. He was a quarterback at Oklahoma, and he's now a senator in Oklahoma, and he took the Ottawa Rough Riders to the Grey Cup with 5 wins one year.
Great.
So I think they're in the right direction. I hope they don't do a whole lot of changes in the off season, just to make changes. I really do think the core is there. Everybody will have another year's experience if they can keep their free agents, maybe pop a couple over. There was a lot of really impressive young guys out there this year.
There was.
Hill, the running back, was I love that guy.
Yeah, Tim White was tremendous.
Tim White was outstanding. Their defense, like I can't remember what game it was, but this shocked me. I was watching a game and TSN brought up a point. They said, okay, that's the first gain over 20 yards all season versus the Tiger Cats, and it was like game 8 or something. Yeah, the defense played exceptionally well, and you have to look at the fact that at times they were put in a bad position for lots of different reasons, right? Play close games. Sometimes you make some decisions, and it works the way that it works. Rob, you've come off the field gasping for air after covering a punt and playing defense, and the ball gets turned over and out you go again.
Yeah.
It's it's just the way the game is. So I think they're on the right track. I think they're going to do great. And I'm hoping with, it being back in town next year that we finally get all of those guys in that organization.
How about this, Oz? How about I talked about this when I don't know if you heard it, but I don't want to start stirring the pot a bit, but the quarterback situation, I love Evans and Schultz. I think they're great quarterbacks, but Bo Levi Mitchell is going to be a free agent. What do you do? We got a Grey Cup in Hamilton next year. Do you sign him a year and an option and try to go for the cup with this guy, or do you go with your two?
Boy, that's a really great question. It really is. Now, if I'm the head coach, I'm sticking with what I got. I like what I see in both those guys. I really do. I think when Dane Evans matures, he's going to be an exceptional quarterback. He's got every tool in the book, and I think once he comes to term with certain things about the game, he's going to be outstanding. And he's already very good. He has games where he is outstanding. Let's face it, the guy's a phenomenal talent, and everything that I've seen and heard, is one of the ultimate type of team guys. And I think Schultz is the same way as well. He's got a great repertoire as well. Can run, can throw, does the short yardage well, everything there. So I like that. And the fact that you've got two quarterbacks familiar with your offensive coordinator. Tommy Condell's offense is a little bit cerebral. It usually takes time for the offense to catch on to what Tommy is trying to get to do. And once they do, they become almost unstoppable. Sometimes it happens sooner rather than later. Sometimes it doesn't happen until 8 games in, because it is a complex offense, but it's brilliant. And I think that those two guys understand that offense now. And when you bring in someone else, I don't like your chances of going in that year. Now he's been around a long time. He's probably seen a lot, played for a lot of offensive coordinators. So is it a bad move? No. You're getting a proven quarterback who can win in the league, right? But I think we've got two that we can build our future on and can win this year as well.
Yeah. But let's turn back the clock, as we like to do, because that's when we had fun. Back to, Rob came into the league. Him and I came into the league around the same time. I was drafted the year before to BC, went back to Mac. Rob was in his 6th year at Weber State, and then he came out at the same time.
Graduated just
50.
Just short of a decade, Hitch?
You bet. Yeah.
But Hitch would have been the one that came to the Ticats first, right? I spent my first 2 years in Toronto, and then I came in, after that. But, Hitch was, and we know, a character, but he showed up at that time, Oz, with like the biggest mullet, with the head shaved on the side.
No mullet. It was nice. It was nice hair.
What were the guys thinking when this guy rolled into town? Just packed full of creatine, packed, no neck, hair back, shaved.
Ozzie, here we go.
People thinking. That's what I want to know.
I'll be kind, Hitch, but you owe me one. All right.
All right. This could be a whole show.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that last night, right? I'm thinking, I wonder what they're going to ask me, but I better not start talking about individuals, and I already have, because I played with 1,000 guys.
Oh,
I played with 12 Smiths. I don't know. So in rolls this kid, Paul Bennett had retired, and near the end of Paul's retirement, they brought in this kid from New Mexico State, and he was the type of guy that gave himself a nickname, the Badger's done, the Mongoose is here, and and we're like, oh God, hey coach, out, roadmap and an apple. So anyway, he was really cocky, and he actually wasn't very good either. So he ended up going by the road, and so then in comes this Hitchcock guy, and we're all looking at him going, Jesus Christ, I hope you guys know what you're doing. I really do. I hope you know what you're doing. So we busted his chops a lot, but it was out of the same respect and love that we bust our chops today. It was.
You saw something in him, right? You saw something in him,
Absolutely
obviously.
right away, right away. And was it the way that I would handle myself or any other people? No, but it was Rob's way, and Rob's way worked for Rob. He came in and he had two choices. He can sit back there and keep his mouth shut and probably not make the team, maybe play some special teams, or he can pipe up, be a friggin' dragon and be on fire and yell and scream and take control. And we loved him right off the bat. Now, however, I did not stop us from giving little Robbie a bit of a hard time, like those little spindle legs. There's a Hitchcock leg right there. That's, that's his thigh and that's his calf right there and his ankles
Ozzie,
there.
And you don't see calves on horses, so that's what I say. You don't see calves on horses. My brother says my legs belong in a box with sauce.
Well,
that's what they say.
I don't know. Every time I see a horse, I see a guy riding it, Hitch. So I'd watch out.
I walked myself into that one.
Yeah, that was
again.
My head hurts. There were so many one-liners in there, Hitch. I couldn't get them all. I was like, oh, that one. So anyway, back to the, Zatilny kind of like, okay, we got to finally put this guy to, okay, we get it. We love you. You're going to make the team. Everything's cool. You don't know that yet, though. We're not going to tell you either, by the way, until you finish serving us beers in the beer room.
Yep.
And one day, like, Wally and a couple other guys came to me and said, hey, we need your help after practice. And I said, okay, what do we do? And he said, just hang around just in case. I don't know what this is. Okay. So I go out there and Al Bruno, I think, was it Al? Yeah, I think it was Al.
Sudsy.
Yeah, was it Al?
Sudsy.
Okay, yeah. So Sudsy, breaks down practice and he's in on the whole thing. So he's hanging around too. And all of a sudden, Sudsy, I think he called Rob over. Someone delayed Rob and everybody kind of leaves the field. And then about 3 or 4 guys tackled him to the ground. And his hair was literally about this long out the back, eh, Hitch? It was pretty good. It was
pretty good. It's good hair.
Can't see. Yeah, it was like about like this, like halfway down his back, almost to his bum.
No way.
Yeah, it was. It was getting close. Yeah, it was down by your ankles. So about 3 or 4 guys tackle him from behind and pull out a big pair of like scissors, like huge, like sheep shearing scissors almost. And they pin him down and they cut off his ponytail. And I'm watching and I'm like, oh, you guys, no, that's not cool. That's really not cool. Like all the stuff I pull, but I never, never hurt anybody or, my stuff was always, just like practicality, funny stuff. And Rob was pissed. Like he really was.
Can I just stop there? I think you took a shit in my helmet once, Ozzie.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Somebody else, you just put the shit in the helmet? Is that what happened?
No, I never did.
This is another story. Yeah,
we'll get to that one.
It was actually in a bag that went into my helmet.
Okay, well then we know who that is, and it's not me.
Well,
wouldn't have been a bag.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been a bag.
I've been compared to him lately, but it's not me.
Yeah.
Earlier in the show.
Yeah. So anyway, finally the smoke clears, right? Because the guys are, like Rob's mad, right? And Rob's strong. So there's like 3 guys on him, and all of a sudden he's like the Hulk, and he just goes like this, and about 3 or 4 guys fly all over him, and everybody runs and scatters, and he picks up his hair, and he's just sitting there with this look on his face, and he can't find anybody or anything to say, and we're walking off the field, and there's your dad, Rob, watching the whole thing. And I looked up at him and I went, oh, come on, and he called us over and he said, guys, and I said, hey guys, this is Rob's dad. And they went, oh no, okay. We just held his son down and cut off his hair in front of his dad. And his dad looked over and he goes, boys, I've been wanting to do that for years. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember. And there was a I remember holding my hair, and it wasn't a ponytail. It was just all my hair was cut, and I picked it all up and I gathered it on the grass and I walked off, and there was a graduation going on at Brock, and we had to walk through them because there's pictures outside, and I was red. I remember I was mad and I was carrying my hair, and parents are taking pictures and looking. We got all our equipment on. You guys are howling and I'm just boiling. But hey, I realized that's what I mean. I realized Sudsy brought me in after, because we were in the beer room after, and Sud said, if these guys aren't talking about you and making fun of you and just paying attention to you, that means one thing. You're not part of it. When they're doing that to you, it means you're part of this team and you're going to make this squad. And I said, so I made the team, coach. He says, well, yeah, we cut your hair. You made the team. And I think you guys knew that before, Oz, because I didn't, of course, know that until he told me after. And I think we still had a couple of days left of training camp. And, you know, I really felt the hair part of it. I was growing it for a couple of years. It was cool in university. And I thought, you know what, this is a business now. I'm got this opportunity to make this team. And these guys just kind of welcomed me in. And that was their way to say, you know what, you got no hair left, but you made this team. And that was a time, I think, one of the most special time for me, you know, as a rookie, just serving beers for these guys and getting to know them and see how they talk in the room with each other. Cause it's different in the States. You're close. Teams are really close, but that group that when I came in, there was a bunch of veteran guys in there already and really paved the way for us, Mike, you and I, and that's how we, that's how we learned from you and other guys, you know, Dale Sanderson and Mike Campbell,
Wayne Schmidt
and those guys. Like, those guys are veteran guys in there. And when you have a core like that, it was something special to be a part of. And, you know, thanks for welcoming me into the league, Oz.
You earned it. Just a couple of points on there. First of all, I'm so overwhelmed at the loss of your hair. I didn't realize that it meant that much to you, Hitch. That you know, I would have tried to prevent it more.
Yeah.
Sure you would.
As you know, after a certain amount of time, I knew pretty well day 1 or 2 that you were going to make the team. We you know, the veterans did, so we just don't like to tell people, you know.
Yeah, beautiful. And I love how the players know. Right?
Yeah,
the players know. The old guys know before.
Oh, they know. Well,
hey, if you run down and get me some McDonald's and Danny Mac some Burger King, we could probably help you make the team there, kid.
Yeah.
Oh man,
ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
But hey, no joke, especially on defense, because you know Hitch was Sudsy's boy. Like that that was.
Oh yeah.
Hitch could get guys cut. Without a doubt, Hitch could get guys cut. He could go to Sudsy and say, I don't like this guy, he's an asshole. And that guy would have been gone. Yeah. And Hitch never abused it. But if we knew there was an asshole, we'd say, Hitch, this guy's an asshole. We all Sudsy get rid of this idiot. Because for my position, I'd be going up against the DBs. I'd know who's an asshole, who's not. And I'd be like, Hitch, these guys are idiots. Like, gone. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, remember Suds?
Oh,
hey. Get on the QEW. Get out of here. See you later.
Apple. There's your roadmap. Here's your apple. Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to our locker room, Oz.
It's funny. The best coaches to me always did 2 things in regards to that. One was that they listened to the right people as far as the veterans go. You know, Lancaster was the same, right? He'd call us in, you know, once a week. There'd be like 6 or 7 of us. We'd sit down and, okay, what's going on, that type of a thing. And, you know, it's really refreshing when they recognize it, because it can be burdensome. It really can be a weight on your shoulders when you're dealing with guys on the field or in the locker room. It's hard enough to play the game as it is. Never mind with those type of guys. And I saw thousands of them, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's like, you know, tell me in year 10 or 11, you couldn't look around camp and go, okay, well, here's where, you know, we need this, and this, that guy will make it. Yeah. He might if he plays well. You know, you kind of figure out the roster real quick, and it becomes second nature just to say, you know, hey, the guy's really good. He could play in this league, but it's not going to be here.
Yeah. Yep. You brought something up earlier. You hinted at, you know, the tricks or the things that you would have done in the locker room. We had something called the Phantom. I don't know how much you know about that, Oz, but
I heard about them.
Yeah. Anthem.
Hey, did O'Shea ever get his equipment down from that light post on the way down to the breakfast hall?
45 feet up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The funny thing is, half the time I don't remember how I did that. Like that was a full street light.
Yeah.
And
you got Vinny. Didn't you get Vinny to drive that little cart at the expansion cart that goes up the lift?
Yeah, but I don't think I did. I can't remember how I did it, Hitch.
You just got a rookie to climb the pole.
I got in trouble for it, I'll tell you that.
You know what the best was, Oz? The best was every morning we'd get up, whatever time it was, and
easy Hitch.
No, Alfie's trough. Remember Alfie's trough? No, we're not saying that one. Not that morning. I remember that one morning, but we were in the same pod at the village. But we'll say that. We'll save that one. Ozzie, where are you, Ozzie? Anyways, so we're walking the best every morning. There was something different. The Phantom did something different every morning, and whether it be guy's equipment on a light post, or we'd walk down because he had to walk behind Brock. So Alfie's trough was kind of in that little foresty area where I think where all the professors ate. We had that whole room for eating. There would be stuff hanging on the roof of like a building. The jersey, someone's jersey was hanging up. It was just the guys went up. Well, the Phantom would go up to the roof and tape this stuff up there. Little thing. Remember the body? I think someone did a body. Somebody fell. Remember the chalk line? I think McCarthy fell. Was it McCarthy that wiped out? And we put a chalk line there because he hit that. I remember. Who was that?
Was it him or Val?
I think it was Val. Oh, I don't know. I thought it was McCarthy.
There's so many good. I mean, there's so many that are just so like. Well, you'd be able to,
if you could see the chalk outline, would be able to tell whether it was Tattoo or Chief, right? So
yeah, that's true.
You can see valleys from space.
One would be this big, and the other one would be.
But the stuff that we did, we did. It was just like the Gatorade showers and the it's we could talk for. Honestly, we could talk for hours, but there's something new that pops up in my head all the time. I forget half the stuff that we did, but when it comes up, I just laugh to myself sometimes. I just sit there. I don't know if you guys do too, but I just sit there and go, man.
No, there's one thing I just popped into my head. Sorry, it's in my turn. No. A lot of people don't know, Oz, that you went to Harvard.
HAR with a V.
So I don't know how that even started. I don't know how that even.
The Buffalo Club,
Tim
wasn't it?
Fleiser went to Harvard.
Yes, so
and when we were doing our at eating, we would make some of the rookies get up and do their team fight song. So as a rookie, we invited Tim up, and I think he was being a jerk about it or whatever. And you're like, Ozzie's like, I went to Harvard, and he did the Harvard fight song. Do you have it in you for today? Is that you good to go? I don't want to throw.
HAR.
It's retired for special occasions. It's retired.
It's brilliant.
It's
brilliant, no matter what.
It's like my impression of Tigger.
Yeah. It was classic though. It was classic.
Well, there's so many classics, but we had the great fortune. We in our locker room, which was like, if anybody could imagine Ivor Wynn Stadium locker room, imagine the worst locker room and then light it on fire. And then throw some rat piss and whatever, like but we loved it. Yeah. We're surrounded by lead paint and plywood and dog shit and whatever. But our row was the high rent district, right?
Yes,
I was very fortunate.
Hey,
myself,
the room was luxury, baby, luxury.
Hey, what was our 4 seats there? Come on, who was there?
It was myself,
Grigor,
Ozzie, Hitch, and Grigor, right? Yeah. And we were in between the post where I was on the outside post, Grigor was on the other post, right next to the Pepsi machine, which never had Pepsi in it, ever.
It was a beer machine.
Yeah,
okay, it was a beer machine. And if you guys hadn't noticed, that's where I relocated our lockers.
Yes,
the right beside the beer,
and the stereo.
The question to me was, who was in those lockers in your heyday, like back in those early 90s? Do you remember, were you always in that locker, or did we take over that little row?
So my rookie year, I was next to Steve Stapler. So if you walked in the locker room and you made an immediate left, you know where that pole is?
Yeah.
Right behind that pole. That was my initial locker. And after I think 2 or 3 years, I moved over across halfway down the big row next to Dale. And then when Dale retired, I didn't like that neighborhood. So I sold my plot and moved over to the
You went to Park Place. You moved up to Park Place.
Boardwalk. Yeah. Oh, by the training office too, by the way. Yeah.
That's right. Which came in quite handy. The beer fridge and where Pusky was came in quite handy. But when you left Oz, you were replaced. I hate to say it, you know who you were replaced by.
Yeah.
Right. It was a very big downgrade for us.
Yeah.
Adriano Belli took your locker.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It was tough for Hitch and I.
We had to keep
between us.
Yeah, we had to keep it Canadian because no other Americans, we wouldn't allow them on there. It was all Canadian, but we had, the right side where the DBs were, that was kind of the slums, and then there was the projects in the corner, and then we had we were high rent. Yeah, we were high rent. Yeah, we were Park Place.
Yeah, we had the Vegas Strip over there with Elvis. Remember that big statue of Elvis we had in the corner, Val?
We had with the margarita machine.
Yeah,
the blender.
Yeah, pina colada. Margaritas,
pina coladas.
Yeah, we didn't miss it. We weren't shy on what the flavor of the drink was back in the day. Whatever it was, we were okay with it.
We really didn't care, did
we? And we talked about this too in our shows previous about the guys would come in early, like really early, not to lift and all that shit. We did that stuff, whatever, when we had time. But the crib games that we had and the foosball tables that were there and the love of the years that we were winning, we did it a heck of a lot more than the years that we were losing. But even when we were losing, we still stuck together. I don't know if you remember, but there would be 25 guys in there 5 hours before practice, watching film and that.
Yeah, just being together,
just playing cards and barking like dogs, and you get skunked and getting lunch and going down to Sunshine Bakery and getting and DeRosa's and getting all that stuff. And it was it was special, man. I miss those times. So it was just. I don't know if they have that now. I don't know if that's what goes on in the rooms, but it sure changed.
Well, you know what's funny is that I've said this quite a few times, and I the first time I really referred to it was the last game at Ivor Wynn when I did the speech there. And when I was thinking about that, it was like, to me, and I know to guys like you as well, that locker room was my sanctuary. Yeah. No matter what was going on in your life, whether you had a fight with your wife, whatever was going on, family issues, personal issues, whatever. When you walk through that door, to me, everything outside of it ended. And you went from like walking with a cloud over your head, pouring rain because you're having a really crappy week, into the greatest place in the history of the world. You know what I mean? It was like, I am going to laugh as hard as I can at least once today, at least once, and probably 20 times where I might pee my pants. Well, I would now. I'm old. You two would too. Don't lie to me. Okay. You guys, we playing a game now. Hey, someone.
Oh my God!
You had to run up and hit the fullback hitch. You'd have to go to the bathroom after you're done. Okay. Thank you.
See you later.
Oh yeah, but it was the place to go where everything was okay. You were with the people that you needed to be with. It was a way to enhance the game to me and make it even more special, especially after a few years, right? You come to practice every day for 10 years. Okay.
It gets old.
Day one of year 11, it's like, okay, I've kind of seen this, done this. Yeah, he's a great athlete, seen 100 like him. So it was a way of making it special to me. That place was, and I hated it when guys came in and they brought stuff in. It was like, okay, listen, all right, are you having some personal issues? Well, yeah, okay. You know what? Let's go out after practice. Come on, we'll go grab a burger and we'll talk about it then. Don't bring it in here. Yeah. This isn't the place for it. This is a place to prepare to win football games, right? Life's hard.
Ronnie let us have that, right? Ronnie let us own the locker room. That was the best part.
Absolutely.
And then in the rare time that one of the coaches, aka our friend there, Davis Reed, wanted to use our bathroom, is when he got the Gatorade shower. Get out. Like nobody came back there.
I'm sorry.
That was our place.
Cavis came back.
You would have
came
loved
back. You would have loved it. Yeah, he went in and he thought he'd come back and I'm not a big
use our
fan.
bathroom.
Not a big fan of him. Anyway, he comes through and he's trying to listen to what guys are saying in the locker room. It's like, you know what, beat it. We're yelling, beat it. And he goes all the way into the back corner. There's 2-3 little stalls we had in the back corner. And he gets in there. We're like, okay, see you later. We get in and we dump the full 5-gallon thing Gatorade over him. He came out, coach. This is a coach, so mad. And I think I think we told him to get out. I think that's when I got demoted. A corner went to safety, and I didn't play safety again after that.
When you moved the linebacker.
Remember the corner?
It was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. I played linebacker last year. It was worth it, but it was 100% worth it. And yeah, if you're listening, Cavis, you're a bird. No respect. No
good thing.
respect.
Good thing.
He didn't have any. He didn't have any for me, and I didn't have much for him. So it's okay.
There you go. But to my point, that was what Ronnie did, right? Like Ronnie let go. That's yours, man.
Yeah. He played long enough and was smart enough to understand that, and other coaches like that happen to have good records. Don Matthews, Cal Murphy, as you know, I'm not a Cal Murphy fan, but what he did out there in Winnipeg worked, right? Especially in those days, they had no money for the longest time, but somehow he made it work. He did. He was,
coach or what's your name, Ozzie? Even and you were blessed to have Al Bruno. I had Al when I had my last year at Mac. And
that's right.
Like Al was to me like a god. Playing for Al Bruno must have been the greatest thing. Like he was the ultimate player's coach. He was incredible. So you had him too. That let you guys do your thing, right?
Yeah, he was really, really good at that. Al was the type of guy that would hire people, good people, let them go to work and make the macro decisions.
Right.
That's how you coach a football team, right? You can control the culture. You let your guys go to work, and when you know that it's not right, you step in and do it your way, right? You're the one ultimately responsible for the wins and losses. You're the first one they fire. So Al was exceptionally good at that. I'll have to say that if it wasn't for him and Joe Zuger at the time, that I would have probably played 5 years, 6 years.
Really?
Joe came out one training camp and spent every day with me. Every morning, every afternoon, we would film it. After lunch, we would sit up in his office. We'd watch over it, and I learned how to punt. I didn't know how to punt. I played like 2-3 years.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so you came as a place kicker.
I was the worst punter in the league for 2-3 years running. And then I got in the bottom 6, 7, 8, 9, and I think one of the things that not a lot of people realize, but that I'm very proud of, is in 1986, I was the All-Canadian punter.
Yeah.
And I was always told for years and years and years, you can't punt, Ozzie can't punt, whenever you get in a punter, and I had to develop the skill. I had to learn, A, get the ball off quick. B, understand what's coming at you and from where, so that that you have to step a certain way, or sometimes you can just watch the protection and that a guy's coming, right? You can almost see in the body language the way that your tackle's lined up and the linebackers fill in the hole, and you're like, okay, I know he's bouncing out, he's going in, and that guy's coming through, and if the up back bounces out, he's free. You know what I mean? And it just, you had to learn that. You really had to learn that. I did. And eventually I got where I could kick the ball out of bounds inside the 10 whenever I wanted to. I could set guys up. I'd play with my feet work. Like Bernie Ruoff showed me a couple of really neat things. And I play with my feet and my hips, and I'd set guys up. When they put one returner back there with the wind, I'd always I would line my feet up to where I wanted to kick, and then I'd open my hips and my upper body like I was like this, and then go all the way across the field. I'd catch the ball, step over there, and rifle it down the field out of bounds.
I remember that.
It'd roll, like just call opposite or whatever the call was for that.
Plus, you'd mesmerize them doing this for about 15 minutes before you.
Yeah, a lot of one-liners there. A lot of one-liners there too. I know. Yeah.
Hey guys, we can't go much more on this show and not talk about. We would never have had this opportunity, guys, to play this wonderful game and to meet each other if it wasn't for those before us that sacrificed their bodies. Remembrance Day today and the veterans. So we got to throw that out today.
This will air just after, but yes.
Yeah, it will. It might even be on today. And Butco usually gets it out today, but today is Remembrance Day, and we definitely, the people that before us sacrificed their bodies and their lives for us to give us this opportunity to play and to meet each other. And we had to say something about that because it's very important. Ozzie, I know you're it's special to all of us, that's for sure. It's a sad
my dad was in the military, and for me, one of the things that always kind of bugged me was that when you're talking about football, it's like, oh, it was a war out there. Well, no, it wasn't. It was a nasty football game full of nasty people trying to hurt each other, but it wasn't a war.
Yeah.
Because when you let me down, Hitch, maybe I got a punt blocked. If I let you down, you're at midfield and not at the 20 playing defense. You know what I mean? Like, we're in the military and I let you down, you're dead.
You're dead. Yep.
You're dead. People are trying to kill you. Like, I know it seems that way on the football field, but it's kind of different when there's bullets and bombs flying.
Yeah.
And to me, it I hope over the time, we don't have any more conflicts of any stature, never mind the two big wars. But for, just those sacrifices, when you look at the numbers of people and animals that died just in World War I alone, 6 million horses died in World War I. 6 million. Yeah. Like, think about that. Never mind the people and the devastation and, so what these guys go through is, and what our ladies go through in the military is, there's never anything you can say that justifies it. There's never anything you can say that truly shows how grateful you are to them.
Yeah,
that's true. Well said.
Very well said.
Well, that's awesome. I feel like, again, we've run out of time and we need Ozzie to come back again because we haven't even talked about the, like lots of stuff. How do you put together, for you, it was what, 18 years, Oz, or whatever it was. Like, how do you surmise that in a 45-minute podcast? It's impossible.
Yeah, it's
but
impossible.
I can do it.
Next show. Next show.
Let's go.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
There you go.
We had a lot of fun and we won.
See, it's funny because my youngest son watched the first episode, and he's been around enough now, and he's old enough now that he's starting to pick up on some of the inside jokes. Yeah, it's not a good thing sometimes.
No, I saw that with Danny's kids too. When Danny had his kids out, I'm like, okay, these guys are listening now to these stories and understanding these stories, where before we could say it in front of them and they wouldn't quite understand it. It's different now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I got the critique from Lisa too. It was
for sure you did.
Oh yeah, we went out after it, and she said, "Oh yeah, I watched it." And I said, "Okay, what'd you think?" She said, "It was pretty good." She said, "You should wear a hat."
Oh, hence the hat. Yep, hence the hat. That's awesome.
Did she say you should put your farmer shirt on too? Was that a part of the thing, or no? Was that you picked that shirt out today?
What's your problem and your obsession with a farming shirt? It's a plaid shirt. It's Canadian.
It's a plaid shirt. It's nice. I like it.
It is nice. You just look like a farmer, like a dairy farmer. For some reason,
first of all, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to be complimentary.
Just
attacking you. That's right. Everybody likes milk.
Yeah,
thank you for your contribution.
It's I have drank milk my whole life. I love it. Like
See?
sometimes it's nothing better than a glass of milk, cold glass of milk.
I don't
There's just
drink it.
nothing.
I haven't drank it in
No way.
10, 20
Well,
years.
actually, there is. Cooler usually provides those things, but
Oh, geez.
Listen, we got
Yeah.
to do this again because we've run out of time. Well, I'll have to bring you back. I mean, what the heck? You could take my spot if you want.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
If you want? Yeah, I'll just take the show over.
I got something for you guys.
Very poorly. Very
Hey.
poorly. Ooh, something came out. You might want to wipe that one.
Oh, Mike,
You
that
may
was
want-
bad. For those who just listen to that,
You
was
may
Mike.
want to
Mike's-
wipe
Mike-
that one. No,
Oz, that
no,
was
no.
for you, Oz. That was for you.
This
locker
is what
mate.
it's come down to. We're now farting on the podcast. Okay, this is what happens when we bring guests like you on. We just derail everything.
Everything. Derail
And
everything.
I love every minute of it.
Yeah, me too.
well,
Well,
it's a fart cast.
yeah.
It's a podcast. Well, listen, from Farty Pants Hitch, myself, Mike Morreale, and Paul Osbaldiston. This is the Morreale and Hitch podcast. Ozzie, we're going to have you back, buddy. We're going to do this all over again.
I'm sorry, but it's a little bit hard. I'm used to clearly being the weirdest guy in the room, and when I'm with you guys, I feel like
Yeah,
I gotta really compete.
you do. You do. It's sad, eh?
Yeah.
Love you, Oz.
We
All
love
right,
you,
brothers, hang in there. All right, we'll see you soon.
brother. Talk to you later, brother.
That's another episode of Morreale and Hitch on the Ticats Audio Network. Have a question or a comment for them? Email us at mnh@ticats.ca. That's MANDH@ticats.ca.